Now, if you look at this, let me talk about the technical theory first. This part you must understand, it's fundamental. If you don't understand it, you don't know where things go wrong. It's a nightmare for you later on. Now, if you look at this, when I ask you to open the file, you will adopt the file units, correct or not? So you go to customize, you go to unit setup, and you look for systems unit setup. What does that tell you? It tells you what? The file system units are in inches. Am I speaking Greek, or you forgot about what you did last year? This is year 2. We keep nagging at you for this. Okay? File system units are in inches at this point. Please note. Okay? Close this. You don't need to do anything. You just need to take note. Now open this. Open the next file called export import. Capital MM. MM means millimeters. Simply that. Now this part, okay, it says something. Unit scale of the file does not match system unit scale. Do you want to blah blah blah? You will again adopt the file's unit scale. You will follow, do nothing but follow. Okay. Again down here, you will see nothing but the very same plane and cube. This very same plane and cube, the plane itself is 3 meters by 5 meters. Alright, just remember this by heart for now. This is your ruler that you will use for your new project. It's a ruler that you can use. It's important. Simple yet important. I find that very, very effective. Now, you go to customize again, you go to unit setup, you click on system. Unit setup one more time. What do you now see? It is no longer in inches, but it is in millimeters. Millimeters. This is the technical part. It's very boring, but you must know. Alright? You do the same thing, the same usual procedure. Look, select these things, click on the Big Max button, export selected. Look for this, export import, MM. Rename it as O2. Do you need me to repeat this? One more time. Select the plane, select the box, select these two things. Now, click on the Big Max button, click on export. Do you see this small little rectangle down here? Click on that and export selected pops out. Click on that. Okay. Type in export dash import MM. Change it to O2, just in case. I don't want you to overwrite the files in case there are certain errors here. Don't touch it. Okay? Once you are done now, click Save. Okay and okay. We'll export everything out and so on. It is, after all, one rectangle and one cube. Nothing will go wrong. Impossible for anything to go wrong at this level. Okay, we are done. Minimize 3D Studio Max now. Let's go into the scene. I am going to next show you. Let's clear the trash first for now. I am now, if you don't know how to clear the trash, never mind. Click on Files now, start a new scene. Under New, click Play. You will start everything anew again. Okay? Don't worry about clearing the trash. I'll show you later on how to deal with this. Please follow my instruction for now. Click on the big Files button here. Click on New. Click on Play. Click on this. With this, I am going to show you how to import the model that you have exported out from 3D Studio Max. Okay? Now you click on this button here called Import. Click on this one. And you will notice that the interface below this area here changes. it changes. Alright, there are a couple of things we can do. Now, if you mouse over, it says here, add a new model. Okay, you can then begin to paint it or map it with a new material later on. Okay, these are the operations to place it, to mass place it, to move it, to scale it. They call it sizing this, to scale it, to change the elevation, move it up or down, to rotate it. Okay, context menu. Later on I'll show you edit properties and trash objects. This is the part, if I lose your attention, we're going to have a nightmare trying to operate the road already. Okay? For guys at the back behind, it doesn't look why the discussion is so intense. You cannot see the discussion. Okay, now every category of material, this one you got to remember by heart. Every category of material has its own trash can. Do you see the trash can icon there? Do you see the trash can icon here? The trash object icon here? It means to say, if you are trying to throw away a model, you must come all the way to here to throw that model away. If you are trying to throw a tree away, you cannot click on that and expect the tree to go away. It does not go away. You must go click on object and then show that object categories, trash cans, in order to be able to do that. It helps. I think it's good and bad about it because it helps you organize your brain and you won't delete the wrong things for the wrong reason. Alright, but it's a bit troublesome because of that method of use. Alright, come, let's try. Click on this, add a new model now, and click on your import inches 02. This one first. Click on that. Accuracy is not the issue here. I'll show you later on how to deal with this. Click on this, click on open. Each time you bring in a 3D model, Lumion will prompt you to rename that model so that you can build up a library of 3D objects. I'll show you how to get rid of them. After a while, they build up so much, it becomes a hazard. It becomes an irritation, so you don't want that to overdo. So we just keep it as it is. Oh, it's the first model anyway, no big deal. And then click add to library. What happens is you need to start zooming out. Zoom, zoom, zoom. This is a pretty gigantic, huge model. So do you see down here there's a big flickering arrow coming down here or not? So Lumion asking you, hey, do you want to place the model here? Okay, let's place it here and see what happens. It's a huge model. Alright. So you can try to zoom, zoom, zoom. You find that it's a hazard because you're going too slowly. Hold the shift key and you will be able to see it now. Okay. Do you now see that I have a plane and a cube, that exact plane and cube that is there? But something is wrong. Do you feel that something is wrong? If you look at the scene down here, why is this thing flickering like crazy? You know, if you look at my screen right now, you see the gray and the green patch fighting for your attention or not? Do you see it there? Now, the cause of this problem is the plane is occupying level 0. The ground is also occupying level 0. Your display card or Lumion doesn't know which one you want to prioritize. If you want to see the gray first or you want to see the green first, what do you want to see? They all occupy the same thing, so it's fighting for your attention at this point. So therefore, you get flickers like that. And you know what? When you render an animation, it will look exactly like that. You'll fight for your attention. So you must know how to work around this situation or counter it. We'll talk about this later on. Alright? Next, I want you to bring in another model. Click on this, add a new model again. I want you to bring in export, import, O2. Do it. Bring it in and click open. The file name will be different because we named it differently, and click OK. Just click anywhere, no big deal. Guys, can you tell me what is the difference? If you can't, the problem. Do you see there's a pretty big difference there? Pretty huge difference, huh? By a mile, okay? Do you see that there is a big difference now? Alright? Which one is the correct one to use? I'm trying to highlight and illustrate to you mm. This is inches, this is mm. But inside our empty scene at this point, there is nothing. There is nothing for us to use as a reference. Hey, I don't know. I seriously don't know which one is the right scale to use. Would you know? Because I really don't know. I really don't. So how to deal with this? Now, why do I call this a ruler? It's my own personal ruler because the next method I'm going to use, I will know exactly, hey, look, which one is the right scale, which one is the wrong scale. Alright? Now, follow me on this. Click on the Objects button here. Look for this icon here. Look for People and Animals. This one. It's here. Click on that. And then click on the Change Object button here. You will see a human figurine here. Click on that. Don't worry about it, just use the first guy. Okay, just use the first guy. Put him near the center of things. Okay. Now, once you place him there already, we have our gauge. Which one is the correct one? Is the bigger one the correct one or the smaller one the correct one? Actually, the correct answer right up to this point, we don't know, guys. We don't know, okay? We don't know because we go back to 3D Studio Max now. Alright? If we go back to 3D Studio Max now and select the cube, the cube here illustrates this. Okay? In our 3D Studio Max file, we illustrate this cube to be 1000 by 1000 by 1000, which is nearly here, 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. Alright? So therefore, the human figurine, if you look at the human figurine now, the proportion of him the height of the figurine now should be a whole lot closer to 1 meter than this. Okay, so he is about what? 1.7, okay, or 1.8, or at most 2 meters tall. It doesn't, normally people don't grow any bigger than that, huh? Alright? Okay? So do you know instantly already which scale should you use? Which model should you use already? Okay, so when you know, so how does that relate back to you? You can go back and refer to these files in 3D Studio Max and begin to check your unit setup. Okay, I should be using, let's say, millimeters. so that it will work properly when I export. Are we quite clear on this? Okay, because if you build everything wrongly, and when it comes in like that, okay, that will mean every single one of the human beings or item that you put in, you must painstakingly scale this guy up into a giant, okay? And this is wrong because the ratio of him to the grass is wrong. We can tell the difference straight away because the grass now becomes a texture and not an object anymore. Are we quite clear on that? It's a problem. It's a very big problem, and it will eat up a lot of your time if you have to do this part of the work. So don't scale stuff unnecessarily. Alright? This part here. Okay, now we're done with the scaling portion. Very good. We have done this part here. How to check scale alignment, okay, the scale accuracy. Next, we are going to talk about the aligned model or model alignment of things. Let's go back here. Now I know, hey, I should be using the model. Alright? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you how to delete what you don't want. For example, we don't want that big model, that one is the wrong one. I'm going to click on import again. And inside the import tab, I'm going to click on the trash object now. And you will notice the moment you click on the command trash, the nodes will appear. It's what we call a reference node, a reference node. That's Lumion's way of communicating to you, hey look, which one do you want to get rid of? As the scene becomes complicated, there will be many nodes. Alright? So in this case, we are going to click on trash object, we're going to click on the big one. Now when you mouse over this, when you mouse over the node, the item highlights in green. Okay, when you mouse over, it gets highlighted in green. And when you click on it, it goes away. It gets deleted. That's the method of use for now. Alright? Next, after we have trashed the model, I'm going to show you how to align it. If you notice here, if you notice on my screen right here, there is a reference node, this one. So how is this reference node established? How is this established? This reference node is established from your 3D Studio Max point of origin here. Where you put the 0, where you put the object, the 000 remains the reference node. It becomes the reference node when you bring it in. Okay? So that gives you a very good clue how you should organize your own file. Who don't understand what I'm talking about? Anyone? Or you super well versed already? You know, huh? Okay? That 000 in 3D Studio Max will be equal to your reference node in Lumion. Okay? That is the thing. And right now, we are going to align this node all the way to the reference node here. The point of origin here. There is a technique to do this, and you must master the technique how to do it. Okay? How do we do this? Click on the Edit Properties, under Import, under Edit Properties. Once you click on this, again the reference node will appear. You click on that reference node, It is the method of telling Lumion, hey, this is the object I have selected that I want to edit now. I want to make change to this object. Later, when we have many objects, it will be hard for you to differentiate the objects. Okay. After you click on this already, the object now becomes blue color. The object now becomes blue color. It's the new Lumion 5 version's way of telling you, hey, this object in question is the one we're going to deal with at this point. Alright, so what are you going to do to it? We are going to, for example, click on the move object command. The move command is here. There is move, scale, rotate, and change elevation. There are a few things you can do to it. And we're going to explore some of these things. Once you have this, you will notice that what looks like 3D Studio Max transform type in appears right here. Do you see it on your screen or not? Do you see it on your home screen? Once you activate the move object command, that one, you must obviously select an object to be able to move it. If not, it's not going to move properly. Now, once you have this, you can now mouse over this position here. Okay, once you mouse over, the transform typing becomes alive. You can now punch numbers. When you can punch numbers, then life is easy already. You can center it, align it precisely. Let me explain to you what these numbers mean. Okay, is it called the integers? The one number, the whole number, it is in meters. At the moment, it is now 82.03 meters away from the point of origin X. It is now 0 difference in Y, and it is now negative 20.4 meters Z. In Lumion, one thing you have to remember by heart, I don't know why even up to version 5 they haven't fixed this confusion. In Lumion, Y equals Z, Z equals X, Z equals Y. Sorry. I repeat one more time. In Lumion, okay, the coordinates are Y equals to Z axis. Alright? And Z axis equals to Y axis. When you want to move things up and down, you will move them in the Y axis instead of the Z axis. Alright? Very, very confusing here. Now, let's do it again. So right now, I'm very far away from the point of origin. I want to move stuff over there. So all I need to do is highlight this and click punch in 0. Highlight this and punch in 0. And I am dead sure extremely sure that the reference node is aligned to the point of origin, which is the bearing point. Okay? Right now. Okay guys, you can talk all you want and you think you know. Okay, right now we're already testing it. Wait till you have to bring your project, you start moving things inside, then you will be asking questions. Hell, how do I align all these things so that the column don't fly halfway up or halfway down? Trust me, this will happen because everything is a click and drag. Right now, we are already playing with it. Oh, you think you know already. You just pull the tree, plant the tree there, plant the water there, it will work. No problem, man, because you are drawing it. But the thing is, when you need to tackle the hardcore stuff, the boring stuff, the things you need to do precisely, like your interior space, like your building, it needs to be pretty precise. That one, you're going to have a nightmare because you don't know how to manage it. Why? Because you weren't paying attention just now when we were talking about this. Alright? This is the key. This is the method how you will move things precisely in Lumion. Now we were talking about just now, when I move over this, look at the flicker. Hey, there is a plane underneath, right? And there's grass, isn't it? It's flickering. How do I deal with the situation? It's like rendering. You know, when you always have the flicker, we got to deal with it. How to do this? Same thing, the move command, okay? Under here, under the y-axis, this is x, y, and z. Okay, you got to look at my screen, top right-hand corner here, x, y, and z. Under the y-axis, like I said, y equals to z-axis. You simply move it up a little bit. How much is a little bit? Move it up by 0.001. Is that 1 mm or not? Yeah? 0.001 is all you need. Shift it up by 0.1. Computer or Lumion will know how to differentiate. Hey, this one needs to come up first, this one then later. Alright? If I put now, let me repeat, I put 0, 0, now it's a mess all over the place, right? But once I put it to 0.001, there is no mess anymore. It is sui sui, it is mei mei, chun chun. Okay? Precise, very precise. There's no mess up. There is no mess up. Don't know which surface to use, which surface to choose. And incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're not paying attention, this is a gradable, this is a highly gradable item. When we grade you for your final walkthrough, we pay a lot of attention to this sticker. And we put a good 20 marks on that. Once it starts flickering, we automatically dock 20 marks off that, of your animation. Why? Because you don't know how to control the software in such a way, you eliminate the flickers. You eliminate which surface should come first, which one should come second. This part is very, very small, but very, very significant and important in animation. If it doesn't appear, you must control it in such a way that you can control the flicker nicely. Are we quite clear, guys? Okay? Next. Very nice, huh? Next, we're going to try to see if we can align this properly or not. Alright? Now, bring in another model called Export Import MM. Okay? Let me show you how to do this again. You don't need to go and re-import a new model because that model is already inside. We're going to duplicate this. How to? Simply click on Change Object. This icon here, click on that. And you notice inside your library, there are two things. There's Export Import MM, there's Export Import Inches. Alright? So what happens is we are going to use Export Import MM again. And we're just going to click anywhere else. Another one here somewhere. Change object is here. You are under, go to import. It is under the import tab. Do not make a mistake. Click on import first. Click on this. Do you see this here? Click on this. You go into the library, the import geometry library. Once you have this now, you can select which one you want to choose. We only imported two models, so this one, okay? Now, after this is done, there's no way to put it in accurately, you just click lah. Just click, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where you click it because we can align them properly anyway later. Just for your reference, just now I highlighted, this plane itself is 5 meters by 3 meters. 3 meters wide, 5 meters long. So that gives you a clue mathematically how we can distribute this, okay? So what we want to do is we want to put this one side by side, like that. So it ends up looking like this. Now, there are no snaps, no. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to this. There is no move command and snap to end point. It doesn't happen in Lumion. There's no such way to do this. At least for now. Maybe Lumion 10 or Lumion 7 they will do it. Right now we don't. There's only one way to do it. Punch numbers. Punch numbers to do it precisely. Okay, so how do we do this? You click on the move object command again. You try to move this one, you can click and drag. But if you try to punch numbers, it won't happen. You are going to affect this guy. So what do? Okay, we get it close. You click on Edit Properties. Alright, I repeat. Right now, the blue box is affecting only this particular geometry, which we already aligned nicely. We don't want to touch it anymore. So what happens is, I want to start dealing with this guy, this one here. So what's going to happen is, I am going to now click on Edit Properties, and I'm going to select the reference node of this particular geometry. Notice now, the blue color box is dealing with this. This is the key difference in using between Lumion 4 and Lumion 5. There are some key user interface differences. But since we are starting on 5, then there's no need to talk about what is in 4. Once you click on this already, you select the Move command, and if you mouse over the transform type in here, you should be able to punch in the numbers quite nicely. If I put 0 now, it will align exactly to where it is, which I don't want. I know that this is probably 3 meters, so I'll put -3. You can now notice that it is now dead accurate. It's right next to it, there are no gaps, it is precise. Okay? And I need to deal with the flickering situation, the flicker screen situation, so I just put in 0.001, like that. So right now I can have them very, very precisely this way. And I repeat one more time in case you didn't catch me. Alright, one more time. So right now, my property is only affecting this particular box. I am going to deal with this now. So what happens is, I will click on Edit Properties, and I will select this geometry now. And notice the box now becomes blue for this particular geometry here. That is Lumion's method of telling you, hey, this is the box, or this is the geometry we are dealing with right now. Okay? So with this, we can click on Move Object, and we can now punch in the numbers, and we can key it in very, very precisely here. And there you go. If you notice this right now, it's very, very precise. There are no gaps in between because it's very, very nicely aligned together. Alright, that is the method of which we can use to make sure the models are always aligned in place. This is especially important if you need to align clothing, if you need to align columns, if you need to align ceiling, furniture, etc. There is no need for aggregation because it's very, very hard to aggregate inside Lumion. It looks very easy now because you're only playing with trees and water and so on. Okay? But if you need to deal with your own geometry, it will not be easy, that part.